year, because if I close 3 of them in one time, it makes my score go down. And then heaven forbid I want to get a new car, it's going to make it look like my credit isn't as good as it really is. So monitor your stuff and don't close all of your accounts at one time. Just do them once per year or something like that, and that will protect your credit also. Regularly monitor all 3 credit reports. I do this once a year. I'm not blowing smoke at you guys. I really do this once per year, because even though I have the house I'm probably going to die in, I really have no plans to move to another community or anything like that. Who knows whether that will change in the future. So I want to make sure if I do want to do some of this stuff that I'm going to be ready if I need to. So I actually do the phone number simply because I live on my computer all day long, and by the time I get home I don't want to get back on it again. So I do the 800 number, and I order my credit reports once per year to get them to see what's out there. I will tell you that this really truly does work, because except for when I was in college and went away, I came back and married my high school sweetheart here, so this is hometown for me. So I have been here the whole time. But when I checked the very first time I did annualcreditreport.com and pulled up my credit bureau, they had me as a school teacher in Montana. I've never been to Montana. I've never been a school teacher. My mom was, but she wasn't ever in Montana either. It took me a month and a half to get that corrected on my report. It did not hurt me because I wasn't trying to do anything except for check my stuff, but that was incorrect. And so it was a good thing that I looked, because that way I got it corrected and it's not there anymore. So monitoring your credit reports is a very important thing, and it's easy and it's free. So honestly, if I could give you homework, I'd tell you to do that today, because that would be something that is for your benefit to do that. If making payments becomes difficult, talk to your creditors. Now I'm going to be on the banker side. Just tell us if you've got some problem with it, because even though we're the big bad bank and we're the big bad credit companies and everything like that, if you tell us what's going on, most of the time arrangements can be made to make the payments less, to skip a payment, something like that. So please know, if you've got something with a creditor, I don't care if it's rent with your landlord, tell them what's going on, because as long as you keep them informed, things will go much smoother for you, and it will save your credit, or at least protect it that way. And of course the last one, because I am the bank, using online banking makes everything easier to monitor. I love online banking. I never thought that I would. I'm actually one of those paperless people now too. I don't even get anything in the mail. I get everything by email anymore. It can be great. You just have to know the sites that you can go to, the secure sites, like of course Bank of America's website is a secure site, so I use that one all the time. I don't go to another business's site to make a payment or make a purchase unless I know who they are. Here's another scenario that I can tell you. My son is almost 28 years old now. When he was 18 and out here at the junior college, he was big into playing pool. He and his buddies were. Decided one day that he wanted to order this really cool pool cue off of the internet. Went to a site that was called poolcues.com. Okay, well that sounds just about as generic as you can be. He should have been smart enough to go to another site. But when he did that, he ended up actually trying to do business with a company that really didn't exist. He paid them $200 for this pool cue, never got it, never got anything. Of course, he came whining to me saying, "What am I going to do, Mom?" I got our fraud department in on it because he used a Bank of America card to make the purchase. It took 3 months before his money got back to him. And it wasn't just because I'm the banker. It was because the bank was backing him up as our customer. So please know, if you're going to do things online, use sites that you are sure are good sites. Places like Cabela's or Penny's or Dillard's and stuff like that, you know are going to be out there because they've been there for a long time, so just make sure you use safe sites to do things like that. Really, all in all, if you're just smart about it and don't do things just off the cuff, you're probably going to be just fine. And the best thing that I can tell you to do is please call the 800 number, check your credit, see where it's at right now, because then you have a baseline of what's going on. And then once per year, because it is free, check on it over and over again to make sure that nobody's reported anything out there that is incorrect about you. 10 minutes or so. Please, do you have any questions for me? I don't bite.
Is there a Bank of America in Pittsburgh?
Yes, there is. It's on Broadway.
There you go.
Are you transferring from here to Pittsburgh?
She's from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I never heard of Bank of America.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, though, right?
I'm sorry. I thought you meant Kansas. I don't know that. I know that we're in Pennsylvania, but I don't know about Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If we've got a computer that I can get on the internet, I can check it out for you before we leave here. Okay? What else? We're actually nationwide. There are some states that we're not in, like we're not in Dakota. We're actually in 39 of the 50 states. My son is now military. He's been in 5 different countries. We've been in all 5 of those countries. So yeah, it works out really good. And the college towns that you go to from here have to leave independence because you're going to go on to school, right? Yes. Because once you leave here, you're probably going to go to a 4-year college, and almost all of those 4-year colleges have Bank of America there. So it makes it really easy for you to be able to do that. What else?
Can you talk a little bit about what advice you would give them for budgeting?
For budgeting? Yes, ma'am. I actually was having this discussion with one of my nephews just not very long ago. My suggestion is, when you know what your income is, that the best thing to do about it before you spend that money or obligate yourself to pay something else is pay attention to what your expenses are usually. Here's your money that's coming in. If it's a paycheck or if it's mom and dad that are footing this bill for you and you have this money coming in, then you know that you have $500 to use for whatever. Make sure that you're not truly already planning on spending more than that $500 before you start out. If things are going to be that tight and you're not going to have enough money left to go to get ice cream next week, it's not going to be a good thing for you, because it does not make any difference whether you can purchase something or not. If you can't enjoy it when you get it, then that's not going to be a good thing either. There is a part on our website at bankofamerica.com that will allow you to do budgeting out there too. That actually says, here's your expenses, here's your income, here's what your expenses are. This is how it's going to work out, so you can kind of see whether you're really spending within your income or not, or whether you're actually just going in the hole little by little by little, and eventually you're going to owe more money than you even have coming in, which is a common thing, and that's why credit is out there, is because most of us do that. I wish that my house was paid for, but let's see, I didn't have a way to just pay cash for my house, so I have credit, of course, and so I pay on that month by month by month. But you have to make sure that you can afford to spend what you're doing. And just because you're buying, let's just say a car will probably be one of the things that you guys will do faster than anything else, except for your cell phone bills. Along with that car, you're not just going to have the car payments, you're going to have insurance payments, you're going to have oil changes, you're going to have upkeep, things like that will come with that debt also. So please just go into it with open eyes and think about it before you do it, and there's always someone that you can ask to find out whether things are going to be a good idea or not, and hopefully you have parents or mentors or grandparents or someone, or big brothers or sisters that will actually be willing to talk with you about it. There's usually always someone who is willing to give you advice if you'll just ask them. Sometimes they give it to you when you don't ask them, but usually if you just ask, that will work fine. But there is a budget planner on bankofamerica.com that you can go out there and do that also. Sorry, I didn't even think about that. I should have printed that off too. What else?
That's it.
Okay.
Thanks for coming. I'm sorry we didn't meet before now. That's good.
Guys.
So, thanks very much.
If you have a computer, we can get on there and find out if we're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
I will do it.
Okay.
And you're downtown.
I am downtown here in Independence. Of course, I'll just do my little thing here too. I have free accounts for a lot of people, so I have ways to make accounts for you too. Please come see me. The banking center itself is open 9 to 4, Monday through Friday. I'm usually there until at least 5. Tuesdays, I don't usually walk out of there until after 6 o'clock, so if I need to help you with something, I'll be glad to do that. Loman knows how to get a hold of me. I'll leave some business cards with you that I can give out too. Thank you, guys. For a free account, I mean, you can have a debit account with a debit card. As long as you do a lot of it on the computer, then you also be free for that. That way you've got a job and you can do that.
Did you all hear all that? A free checking account?
It depends upon how you want to set it up, but yes, they can be. It's called an e-banking account. But honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I've had my account for so long, that's the one I would do because I do the paperless thing and I use the ATM machine and I use my credit card. It's not hard to
They can come talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Financial literacy.
If you would fill out the evaluations, let us know what information you got from this.
And-
Thanksgiving is also coming.
And go through the angel site too.
And don't forget that you need to go to the Angel website and go through the seminar on financial literacy. You'll hear a little bit more about what Ms. Alford's talking about and also more about student loans and things having to do with things like interest rates and stuff that you probably
If I need to do something else and expand, just let me know. It'd be great. Because that way maybe I can do more.
Yeah, we have some of what they have on the website. Jenny and I were looking at. We were both kind of like, wait a minute, it's pretty complicated.
Yeah,
stuff.
some of it is.
So,
Some of it is.
appreciate
If it's
that.
not your world, then yeah, it
Yeah.
can be overwhelming sometimes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.